I got a phone call on Thanksgiving from the police department telling me that they had my granddaughter there and to come immediately to get her. And I said, okay. Well, I thought it was going to be just like a temporary thing.
Me and my husband were having some issues with substance abuse. We had a run-in with DCPP a couple years prior, and my daughter spent a couple weeks in foster care with strangers. It was important to me that she didn't end up in a stranger's hands again.
When KLG was first created, it was designated as a less preferred option to adoption. So for this family, if the grandmother wanted KLG, she can only do that if there was no one else who was willing to adopt the child.
They called me up one day and told me if I don't adopt her, she'll be put up for adoption and anybody could adopt her.
They told us that KLG, kinship legal guardianship, was not possible, and told me if I don't surrender my parental rights that they will take them and they will put my daughter where they choose. But if I surrender them, that I eventually could get my parental rights back and that I could choose who she goes to.
I just couldn't imagine her going anywhere else. I adopted her, and then my son had passed away right before the adoption took place.
The mother of the child had contacted me, and she was looking to gain custody rights back for the child. The father had passed away many years ago. So it was the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law and the grandchild all living together as a family. They were both in agreement that the mother really should get custody of the child back.
My daughter was in a good place, finally got her into a good special needs school. So I decided to take a couple courses, and I realized, I think that it's possible that a judge might consider this be a good time for me to ask for my parental rights back. So I contacted LSNJ Law, and that's when Miss Chiori started helping. She told me it was very unusual for a parent that lost parental rights to regain custody. But she helped me, I think, more than a lawyer that I would have paid for would have, and she was eventually able to get us joint custody.
When a parent goes through termination of parental rights, all of their legal connections to the child are severed. So even if a parent is able to overcome addiction or mental illness or physical illness, financial hardship, when they try to bring a custody case later, when they are ready to raise their child, their cases are often turned away because they lack standing. And in this particular family's case, the mother filed a custody case not based on the fact that she's the biological mother, but based on the fact that she is a psychological parent. She lived with the child in the same household for many years with the blessing of the adoptive parent, and took on the obligations of parenthood and developed a bond, a relationship with the child after the termination of parental rights.
As far as my daughter was concerned, I'm mom, grandma's grandma. I was financially, emotionally, physically, in every aspect, playing the role as mother.
She's a very good mother. She's very devoted to her daughter. She's very, very good mother. And I thought it was important for her to have custody in case she wants to build a new family in the future.